This knowledge being spread. It's like warm butter across the bread. Smooth, I know you like that. Flow with the grain and don't fight that. You want righteous love, you found the right match. With Marty McFly, they on the right track. Yeah, gotta dig the dirt to plant the seed. Spread roots till you sprout like a tree. Doni Jones, she the one you wanna see. Doni Jones live, this is where you wanna be. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones live. It's Doni Jones live, Doni Jones.
Welcome to Doni Jones Live. I am Donnie the Tree Lady hanging out with
that guy, Marty McFly, trying to make it do what it do, what it do, what it do.
Doing what it doing
Making
and
it do
doing what it
does.
does.
And then some too.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Donnie, how are you doing? It was a beautiful day.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay,
I am having a great day.
Oh, yeah?
I am having a great day. Let me tell you something. You ever have one of those days where the sun is shining, you get up, your hair feels good, you know, you done lost a pound, you know what I'm saying? Of course,
or gained a pound,
after you gained 3 pounds and then you lost a pound, I mean, you know, so back and forth. But anyway, feeling good. Took my vitamins, got myself something to eat, got a workout in today. Already got 3 estimates done. If you don't know what that's about, as far as estimates are concerned, for those of you that don't know, I own a tree care company here in Atlanta, Georgia. The name of the company is Don's Tree Service. So if you see our red trucks or either our white trucks with red writing, that's my company, Don's Tree Service. Give us a call at 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE. So yeah, man, I am having a great day. I'm feeling good. And
I can see you got this little glow on you and everything.
I do. Okay. You know how we always talk about how it's important what you put in your mind and what you let creep into your mind? Well, I've been going to sleep lately listening to The Science of Getting Rich.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
And so while I'm sleeping, you know, I fall asleep listening to that. I'll start dreaming about different ideas, dreaming about what I want the company to look like, dreaming about what I want my life to look like. And what I notice is that sometimes I always feel like I'm far behind, you know, like behind the 8 ball. But then other times, like today, when I was going over my gratitude, I realized I've accomplished a lot of what I've wanted to accomplish. And so I started the day, instead of thinking about, you know, all the things I've got to get done, I was thinking about what I've already done and what God has already done in my life.
You know, that's powerful. It's funny. It's one of those things where you kind of ask God or ask, you know, the universe, bless me this way, bless me with this, and I'm trying to make it to a certain point. And then for some reason, we look back a year or two, and I was like, oh, I accomplished that. I didn't even realize that I overcame that hurdle, you know, or that situation. And
can we mention what we did the other day, what we looked at, or are we gonna? Okay, cool. All right, but it's just one of those things that you know, God has. So I was thinking about that. I was thinking about other things, but I do want to be specific because I hate it when people have a conversation and they're like, okay, well, what the hell
what's she really talking about? Why are you glowing like that from the mountain?
I am okay.
We're on a religious station.
We're on a religious station, and it actually has something to do with my kids.
Oh, okay. Not
in our company. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna mention. I'm just gonna mention 3 things. Okay.
Because I woke up. Can I say I woke up this morning feeling good, feeling nice. My head was all good, and then I looked over and realized I was still married. Let's just keep moving. Let's just keep. No. Anyway, no.
On a more positive note. So my daughter, okay, she just got back from Italy.
Okay.
And Italy was and still is a place I have not been to yet.
Okay.
But she had a trip with her school that was paid for last year. That
I understand.
Jokes, y'all. So she just got back, right?
Right.
And I'm just really proud of the fact that she got to experience this amazing country, you know, Italy, and come back and tell me about it, right? Well, yesterday, I was trying to pick her up from school and she hadn't called me yet. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, 'cause she got back Sunday. It's now, you know, we're shooting on a Thursday, but it was like a Wednesday, whatever. So she had called me and it was like 6:30. And then it hit me. I was like, wait a minute. She's not in Atlanta. She's on a school trip. She's on a school marine biology trip on the coast of Georgia, you know, looking at plants and the environment. And so she just got back from Italy, and now she's on a trip to the marshes to study the ecosystem in Georgia. And I never did that kind of stuff as a kid. So I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling all this positive energy this morning because I'm looking at, my goal was to always to put my kids in a good environment where they can experience things I've never experienced and have a great life doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then another quick thing, gratitude was, like I was mentioning, I've lost a pound, going in the right direction, and I feel good. I feel the weight coming off. My jeans are looser. And then the third thing was you, man. You just being a brother. You know what I'm saying? You
boy.
and just you and I doing this show, being able to bring value to the community and bringing joy to people. So I went to a client's house and I was once again meditating on what I'm grateful for. And she said that we made her laugh, you know? I think it was more like you made her laugh. But she said that she was having a tough day and she saw us on one of the stations we're on. And she said you made her laugh, and that. Well, she said we, but I'm going to put it on you, 'cause I feel like you're funnier than I am. But yeah, so that's what I'm feeling. But anyway, what's going on with you, man? I don't want to hog up the first.
You know,
segment.
all of that. I don't know how I can come back after all of that. You know, Philly good and stuff. But you know, it is the thing though that to you know, give appreciation. You know, just let people know in your, you know, around you that you appreciate them, that you care about them, and you know. But what's going on with me is I've been listening to Earl Nightingale.
Yes.
You know, that's one of my people that I kind of go to sleep to sometimes and wake up and listen to. And one of the things that I am listening to right now, or kind of focusing on, is your attitude.
Yeah.
You know, your own personal attitude of, you can look at your day, and depending on your attitude and placement, the day could look bad or the day could look good.
That's right.
You know, and it's really your own placement. You know, even when you look at your family. And, you know, and I joke a lot, but, you know, and I had to do this some years ago.
Yeah.
Even with your marriage or your relationships or your family life, it's your attitude also that plays a big part in it. You know, if you start changing your attitude, then the environment kind of changes.
That's right.
You know, and it's like, wow, you know, and it works very well. But
it does
other than that, you know, Donnie, I had a thought for this week. You know, now we didn't really talk about it, but a thought for this week. You know, a lot of times in business, we like to follow up, all right? But how often do we focus on following through?
Ooh.
You know,
Preach.
just one of those, you know, we will, because I'm dealing with a couple of different groups of people that I'm working with. And sometimes I'm realizing I'm following up, but I need to kind of push the envelope to make sure that I'm following all the way through.
Yeah.
You know, even when it's the small detail stuff, you know, of like, did you get the contract?
Yeah.
Yes, we got it, but did you read it all the way?
Woo!
You know, did you read all the details? I'm dealing with something like that right now. But, you know, so that's one of the things that's been on my mind. But then also, since we're talking about like appreciating people, we have somebody that's going to come on the show today.
Yes, we do.
That I have to say I got to give my hat off to. Because honestly, Donnie, I gotta say they're better than me.
Take my hat off.
It will take my hat off to them, but just at the same time, you know, they're better than me. They're a lot better than me because, you know, when I see somebody, you know, like on the side of the road and they say, you know, hungry or whatever.
Yeah.
I put my shades on and roll the window up.
You do not.
Most of the time I do.
Marty,
I'm not going to believe. No, after a while.
Pastor Marty Ringer.
Yes.
I find that hard to believe.
I pray for him.
Okay.
You know, the scripture says, you know, the coins and money I don't have, but what I do have is a prayer.
Okay.
You know, so but this individual actually goes out and spends her own money and feeds the homeless, you know, and they will get into their own house and home and fix all these meals up and doing it just because they want to show the love moving forward. And I just got to take my hat off of that and just like, you know, and they're going to actually come on the show in our next segment and kind of talk about a little bit of what they're doing, you know, so.
I love that. You know what? I don't know if we're just in this feel good, and I hope you guys are feeling. If you guys are feeling the vibes that we're putting out right now, give us a call at 1-888-349-DONNIE. That's 1-888-349-3664. We love to hear from you. And if you missed the show or you want to check out more episodes, you can hop over to YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to Doni. That's DONI. Doni Jones Live. Look for me and Marty's face.
Yep.
And subscribe and check out some of our other shows. But what I want to say is that I lost a thought, but basically
doing good for other people and
doing good for others does help you feel better.
Yes.
And it puts good stuff out there in the environment. And I guess maybe part of the reason why I'm feeling so good is there's just some stuff I'm not watching anymore. Because, I have very strong opinions about certain things that come out in the media. Extremely strong opinions.
Yes, you do. Yeah, I agree.
But unless I'm talking one-on-one to somebody or I'm sharing a message like on one of our shows or one of my videos, me having those strong feelings and getting frustrated is not helping the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All it's doing is making me sit there and be frustrated. Where in order for some of the things to change that are going on right now, in order for that to happen, we've got to show love and compassion to people we may not necessarily understand and we may not necessarily like. And I think in our society right now, we're trying to do the whole thing, fight fire with fire type ideology. But I think in some situations, we're going to have to step back and go, how can I hear this person? How can I show them love? How can I show compassion? And I gotta believe that the answer to a lot of the world's problems is love. It really is. Love for your neighbor, love for your enemy, love for that person that's different from you, even if you don't understand them. If you come from a place of love, and you may not agree with what they're doing, but if you can come from a place of love, I think we can get to a place where we can all start making a difference in the world.
Well, we got to find out why are we different?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I was having a conversation with the actual a Caucasian guy, and we were talking about black.
You were talking to a real white person?
A full-blooded.
Just messing with you.
But
My husband's white. Go ahead.
Yeah. But we were discussing some divides, and he said, and he goes to a black church, but the church that he goes to is actually you would say they're from Africa.
Okay.
African descent, African nationals.
Yeah.
And he said it's interesting. They don't have problems with Caucasians. They have problems with African Americans.
Oh, I've heard that.
Right.
I've actually heard that
and it's
before.
like, well, what makes that divide? What makes us different? Why do we not like ourselves or our same people? But what is that divide? And then I think once we can get that kind of understood, that might allow us to move forward a little bit, to just say, okay, you're different, I'm different, but what makes us different?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but we'll talk a little bit more about that on the other side if we get a chance to.
I would definitely like to talk about that on the other side.
We have a wonderful guest that's coming up, but if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones, the certified arborist.
And Marty McFly, the amazing pastor and production extraordinaire.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts to change, the wrenches start to fall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
If it's looking kinda weak and it's looking kinda bleak, who a tree specialist call?
Don's Tree
If
Service.
the trees in your yard are just too tall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wanda Smith, and I'm here with some great information. I don't know if you know, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one fall on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service on a Monday. They were here in just a few days. The price was right, the staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
One of the things that frustrates me to no end is when I call a company and as soon as it picks up, it says, please hold. And your approximate hold time is 4 to 5 to 10 minutes. It frustrates me because I need some help. But then I was wondering about when we get on our knees and pray, does the spiritual angel kind of picks up and says, I hear your prayer, but please hold for the operator. And it might take you 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 months. But knowing that the operator will pick up and handle your problem. I think in those times, God is trying to tell us to just hold on for the blessing. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty Ringer, and I'd like to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning at St. Mark Lutheran Church. Now, you might not be in the East Point, or the Atlanta area, but you can always go online at stmarklutheranchurch.org and check out any of our services. I would love to just spread the good news of Christ to you. If you're here in the Atlanta area, our address is 4137 Washington Road in East Point, right down from the Atlanta airport. And if you're not around the ATL, you can always log on at stmarklutheranchurch.org. And there you can be a part of any of our worship services. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand this one message. God is trying to tell you to hold on until your blessing comes. And may God's grace and peace be with you.
Hey, this is Donnie the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. And as a small business owner, I get asked all the time, how did you do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started a tree service with $43 and a dream right here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during my journey, I've definitely been blessed to see the mountaintop, but I've also been in some rough valleys. And in my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I share my experience. My book really is a real woman's journey to building a happy, healthy, and successful life. But I gotta be honest with you, I read self-help books and I listened to audio programs about success, and I was still having difficulty achieving success in my life until I really got a hold of certain principles that made a difference. In my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I get very real and raw about what I did to build my company, my family, and my life. So please go check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous, on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.DoniJonesLive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones.
Middle of the show. We are back. Welcome back to Doni Jones Live with me, Doni Jones.
And I think me, Marty McFly. I think I'm here, but I don't know. Can you?
I don't know, because I can't really hear you, my brother.
Okay, well, we in there. We go.
Now I can hear you. Now I can. Y'all, these are real shows. This is real behind the scenes.
Right. Now, and if you're wondering, of course, now granted, if you're on the radio, you can't see the other guests or the third person in the room, but
yeah,
I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine now.
Yes.
That is, like I was saying on the last episode or the last segment, that is really doing great things in the community.
Yes.
And not just, picking up trash. She's actually, going out. No, some
Marty,
people say I do
what
good
if
with the
some of
community.
our listeners are janitors?
Ain't nothing. I didn't say nothing wrong with a janitor.
Okay, let me let you
I'm
finish
just
the
saying
intro.
some
Let me
people
finish
go
the intro.
and pick up a bottle of water. I'm like, I did good for my community, but you threw the bottle down there.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but this young lady actually goes out and feeds the homeless.
Yes.
And it's not on like a contract or somebody, just to make her look good or anything, but it's something that is on her heart. And every time that she tells me about it, I'm like, hats off. So ladies and gentlemen, on the show with Doni Jones Live is our favorite friend, Miss Crystal Strickland.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm so happy and honored to be here today. I'm so excited to get it started.
Well, we're excited to have you. We really are. One of the things we talk about, and we don't necessarily mention it in our intro all the time, but is that we like to highlight people in the community that are doing good things. Yes. And you are a woman that is doing good things. Not
great
just
things.
Talking about it, but being about it. Like Marty mentioned, he's over there chilling on the Zoom, and you got people in the background making food for people that are homeless and people that are that may get overlooked in our community.
Right.
What got you? What inspired you to do that?
So what ended up happening is one day I was out at Washington Park, and I was out there working out somewhat.
Girl, we got the same. It's me and you. We good.
Yeah, but I was out there and I was working out, and literally it was this lady who used to come with these bright colors on, and they'd all be matching, but she had the earrings, everything. She was just so bright all the time. Yeah. And one day she was telling us about how she go out and feed the homeless. Yeah. And she said, I had a friend that don't like my ex-husband. He's very mean. And she just quit on me. And I had to push a cart up the hill and take these plates. She said, I don't have no money. So I have no way to pay tithes. So I take from my food stamps and I buy food and fix it for the people. And I feel like I'm giving my tithes. So I told her at that time, I said, well, I have a young lady living with me right now and myself. And I have two vehicles. you'll never have to push a cart ever again.
Preach.
And we literally started with her doing it around 4 or 5 years. And she decided one day she was going to stop. And I said, well, we're done. And my daughter, Kanye, I love her so much. She actually came to me and said, well, for our next feeding, we're going to have spaghetti. We're going to have garlic bread. And I said, well, baby, we're not doing the feeding no more. The feeding is over. She said, and we're going to be giving our hugs. And she just kept going. And when she got done, I said, yep, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
And we've been doing it ever since.
I love it. Our kids will hold us accountable, won't they?
Yes.
Yes, they will hold us accountable.
I can see that just being the blessing, in a sense, God pushing you to say this is your calling to
That's
do,
right.
service for other people.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this again?
I have been doing this over 12 years.
Wow.
Yes, out of my pocket.
Yeah. So you don't get any funding from no organization or anything like that. You just.
So literally, I just started receiving my first donations this year. I've been able to raise a little bit over $400 thus far. But literally, a lot of people don't know to do one feed and it costs over $300 some.
Wow.
And we're doing it every other week.
Wait. Let me ask you. Can I ask the question? What if you just scale down your menu?
I'm going to hurt him.
But no, I'm just hurt.
Yeah, I'm going to help you because we don't scale back nothing for the Lord.
Preach.
I understand, but these are for the people out there.
No,
I understand. I'm just thinking, well, let's do this. If you believe in this cause, then you can donate to her cause.
That's where I was getting ready to go.
But I'm just saying, in my household, if it costs us $15.
Well, you don't eat as much as most people. Regular folks,
that's why I can eat off of $10. You scale down.
$300 is enough for you to eat all year, okay?
True.
But we're trying to feed some people, okay?
Exactly.
And here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to take a moment right now, and I'm gonna commit to you. Okay,
man, come on,
I'm gonna commit to you.
All right, now Donnie, we're recording too, so this is going to be.
I didn't say I was doing it today.
That is true. Okay, yeah.
No, but how do you? But what I'd like to do is I would like to make a call out to our listeners. I would like to make a plea out to our listeners. Yes. If you have been touched by her story, and we're going to get a little bit more into your story because we're talking about feeding people that are underserved, and right now. In the world, there's people that are shutting down programs that help people that are less fortunate. There's people that are fighting about right and left as opposed to fighting about what's right and wrong. So we can't let people be hungry in this country. There's no way that, not to get political, we can send billions of dollars to another country and not take care of the people here. So if it has been put on your heart to invest, to support, to donate to her organization, I'd like for you to tell people how they can come out and or how they can get in touch with you and invest.
Yes.
Or donate.
Well, we have different platforms for donations. My number is 678-787-7824. And that number is for our Zelle and also if you're doing Apple Pay. We also have Cash App, which is WIO 22.
WIO 22.
22.
Don't get it wrong, WIO, not zero.
Not zero.
WIO 22 is her Cash App.
Right. And the
I want you guys
is
to
Will Invest Outreach.
Yes.
And we always need volunteers as well, too.
Yeah.
Always need volunteers. We always need people to come out. And not only that, you need to come out and volunteer because it's going to do changes in your life as well.
That's right.
Now, you have something coming up. I want to say towards the end of this month, and you have some 29th. Other sponsors, which I am floored when she told me that one of her sponsors on this event was Georgia Power.
Georgia Power. I listened, talking to them on the way walking in.
And if I am. Well, I'm going to let you tell it because they were giving out, if you go out and register, they were giving out iPads or something of that nature or something?
No, actually, you have two different people together.
Okay, all right.
So literally, doing this ministry is not easy. And a lot of people don't know that. So literally, I had to go to a church to get help with my own lights. Yeah. I couldn't even pay my own light bill.
Yes.
And one thing I love about God is he'll set you up.
Come on.
For something way greater. And when I went into this event, he told me to evaluate to see what was going on. And I was able to see Georgia Power in action, helping people in the community. And God said, just earlier that day, we just put together a date for a community to go out into actually through the Chapel of Christian Love Resource Center. And we want to partner with them and bring more awareness to what is going on and all the things that they have available, because they have free food, free clothing, and also household items. And a lot of people are not aware of this. There are some, but there are a lot that are not aware that this is all free. Right. And so literally after this, me going to this event, I literally just went up to the lady, Miss Misty, thank you so much. I said, hey, I have an event coming up. I would love for you guys to be able to come out to help more people. Yeah. Because the thing is, the reason why Georgia Power is actually out helping people sign up is because there are not a lot of people aware that this fund actually exists.
Well, wait a minute. Can't Georgia Power give you some money too? They get my light bill money every month.
We working on that.
Okay. Georgia Power, you need to come through. Seriously.
We working on
it. Bring it out.
Okay. I'm just saying. Georgia Power, Comcast, Verizon,
We
Apple.
don't turn down nothing but our color.
AT&T. I'm just saying.
We say we need it all.
I want to get into it, but I want to make sure that you're okay with talking about the whole story of
most
everything that you're doing.
definitely.
Because when I heard about your story, your real, until you got to this point, it's so inspiring to me because you can't really focus on where you came from.
Come on now.
Kind of focus on where you're going and knowing that God has a plan for you.
That's right.
Even if you are born in the worst conditions or in the worst cities.
That's right.
God can still use you and change you around.
That's right.
So I don't know if we got a lot of time on this one, but Crystal, would you mind giving a little bit of your real upbringing history?
Or a lot of it.
Well, most definitely. I would love to, because a lot of people do not know that I was actually adopted. I was adopted at the age of 1 by a lady 72 years old. She literally came out the house. She was at someone else's house trying to help them meet their quota because they so close for a living and they were not able to pay their utilities. So she went over there to help them. She left out and pulled up in her burnt orange Cadillac with the A-Track and saw a little girl sitting on the big wheel with a blue sock on and a red sock on and a diaper. She asked me where I lived at. I pointed at my house. She took me into the house. My mother had enough strength to lift her head up and say, you can have her.
Oh, my
Gave
God.
me to this lady, don't even know her from a can of paint.
Wow.
This lady took me in. I would have never thought that me being adopted and dealing with a mother that's still on drugs to this day, and also a dad that was addicted as well. Thank God he's clean now.
Yeah.
And literally it led me to where I'm at today, because that's where the kindness came from.
Yeah.
That's the giving. She raised over 11 kids and never gave birth to one. I was the last
wow.
child she raised.
Oh, wow. See, that's the story for her. That's just a blessing of her pushing it forward.
That's right.
Yes.
Did you ever rekindle any kind of relationship with your biological mother, or?
Well, I love my adopted mother. She made sure that I always had a relationship, always respected her, always forgiving her, regardless. She always told me, forgive them for they do not know what they do. That was her favorite saying.
Exactly.
So I talk to my mother still to this day every now and then. Of course, she's out in the world, but every holiday are different things, or she get a feeling. She'll call me and vent to me and tell me about what's going on in her life, and I am her peace.
Yeah.
So she calls me to feel like she's whole again.
Yeah.
So I thank God for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's why I was saying, just your upbringing, your story, you turn that around and start. You didn't let that be your crutch in life.
No, that's the best thing that happened to me.
I hear men always talking about, well, I didn't have a father growing up. And I'm like, well, you 45, dude.
Yeah.
You might need to say thank you.
Right, just say
because
thank
some
you.
parents
That's
are
true.
not great parents.
Yeah.
It's true. This is true.
So you might actually look up, and a lot of times we focus on things that are not actually what we need to focus on. We should be focused on solutions.
That's
not
right.
our issues.
I feel you on that. But you know what? We're going to come back on the other side real quick. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah. Can we talk a little bit more about the story? Because I'm just like sitting here blown away. And I'm trying not to be emotional. I come in here. Yeah, see, this is why I don't need to work out and be healthy. Because I come in here and my heart's all open and I feel good. Now you're bringing up emotions that I ain't ready to deal with.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones, Marty McFly, and Miss Crystal Strickland.
Yes. Yeah.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts to change, the rent to start to fall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
If it's looking kinda weak and it's looking kinda bleak, for a tree specialist call.
Don's Tree Service.
If the trees in your yard are just too tall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wanda Smith, and I'm here with some great information. I don't know if you know, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one falls on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service on a Monday. They were here in just a few days. The price was right, the staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni, the tree lady, your favorite certified arborist here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
And I'm hanging out with
that guy, Marty McFly, that's just trying to hold it in the road, as they say. And Miss
Crystal Strickland with Will Invest Outreach.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Now, Crystal.
Yes.
Why are you going to be letting God use you like this, right? So you were talking about your story, and I actually wasn't even going to bring this up, but I was like, okay, just going to bring it up.
Yes.
By you sharing your story, and I started off talking about gratitude, and you said the part where, your mom,
Yes.
the lady who took you on and adopted you, went into where your biological mom was, and she could barely lift her head, due to
Yes.
drug use. And she said, you can have her.
You can have her.
Yeah. As a mom, I couldn't imagine doing that. But it hit me because I always wanted a mom that was more involved the way I am with my kids. I always wanted that, and I didn't have that. My mom suffered from depression. She did prescription drugs, just was kind of zoned out a lot of my childhood, And I used to be so angry with her because she basically would get up, she'd make us breakfast, and she dealt with an abusive husband, and she made sure we got to school, but then she was just watch stories all day, and she wasn't very nurturing, and she wasn't that mom that you sit on her lap and she'd tickle you, or she'd lay over the bed with you and tell you a bedtime story. I wanted that mom, but I didn't have that, but I did have a mom, and whenever somebody came anywhere near her, she was like, I kill you over my kid. You know what I mean? She would get up the energy to do that. Or she would talk about, she was proud of me when I did something. But there was all these other areas where she lacked that I just have for years been angry about. And you weren't there. You weren't mentally there. You weren't emotionally there. You put her with an abusive husband. And you just made me realize that sometimes we don't always get what we want, but we get what we need.
We do.
And
we do.
She stayed with my father in this abusive marriage, right? But my father became a very big influence on me because he owns a tree service. And my whole life revolves around the tree care industry. My dad was Islamic, and so he's very driven and do your own thing and stuff like that. Because she stayed with him, I think a certain way. And if she would have taken off with me by herself, who knows? I would have been out on the streets, selling my body or something, because that's the world she came from. And he took her out of that. So by you telling your story, you've brought a certain amount of peace to me. But I thought I already had peace about this. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
joke with Marty about this. Like, I don't need to talk about that. I'm good on that. But just listening to you, thank you for sharing your story.
Well, I actually want to blow your mind a little bit more, because listen to your story. It didn't sound bad to me at all, because I'm finna tell you, literally, I remember being a child, and it's amazing how I have a trauma brain.
Yeah.
So literally, I remember all the trauma that happened to me, like literally, like it's just yesterday.
Yeah.
But I can barely remember what I just supposed to did 15 minutes ago. So literally, I remember in our house, it literally, we on the furniture we had was the bed that was in my mom's room. I remember sitting at, you know how the old beds, like with the old frames, I remember sitting with my back up to the actual metal frame while my mom is having sex in the bed with a man. And I gets up and I goes in the kitchen and I am literally getting a hot dog because that's the only thing that's in our refrigerator. And then I'm going back and sitting down watching TV. Literally at night, I used to leave out every night. And I was called the community baby because whoever picked me up that night is where I stayed at.
Wow.
And I'm going to blow your mind even more. So literally, it was my cousin's house, my mom's house, a neighbor's house, my grandmother's house, another neighbor's house, and the lady's house who my adopted mother was at.
Yeah.
And you would think that I would be at one of their houses.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. So listen to your story, empower me. A lot of times when it might be somebody out there right now that's facing something or going through something. That's why I like volunteering and giving back.
That's right. Yeah.
Because you will realize that it's not as much as you thought it was. It's not as big as you thought it was. You understand? Give back until you don't focus on what I had. One thing my adopted mother always taught me, you always in position to give.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Always. I don't care what you got going on in your life. And she was a giving woman. I remember a lady was battered walking down the street crying. And my mom asked her, what's wrong? She's like, my boyfriend just jumped on me. She said, come on and let this woman just come move in our house. We didn't even know her from a can of paint.
Oh, wow.
And that woman was so influential in my life. It was just so amazing to see how she did. She fed so many people. She was a chef. She was a caterer. And and it just blew my mind. Like literally when I walked into my house, it was food everywhere. Like all my life. That's why I'm a little
Like bringing food. Right?
I love food.
Well, that's the other thing. My mom could cook. So she might be zoned out on whatever she was taking. But at night, she made sure she had some food.
You know, I just want to interject and just say, you know, whoever is listening right now, you know, I think this is a testimony for them, you know, because sometimes we really criticize our parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and not even appreciate who they were, who we had, who God gave us. You know,
That's
because like Donnie, you were sharing your story, and Crystal was like, really?
That's like it's so
You
bad.
upset about that? She didn't hug you.
I was waiting on the punchline. Like,
Right. She didn't tickle you in the bed.
Hug, okay.
Oh, okay. You felt bad. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you the real. I didn't want to sit in my bed because you know, but it highlights, you know, sometimes we think that we have the worst situation going on until we hear somebody else's story and say, you know what?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I can give a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit. I always say this all the time. A little bit of something beats a whole lot of nothing.
Preach.
You know, and you can give either 5 cents, 10 cents, any of your time, but you have something to give.
That's right.
You know, so I really appreciate that. Real quick, because I don't want to run out of time. I want to make sure that we highlight, because you have an event coming up this month.
Yes. We have an event coming up on March the 29th on a Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be out in the community just giving back. We actually partner with Georgia Power. I'm so excited about that. We're going to be helping people pay their utility bills.
Okay, how can I sign up?
We're going to be helping people pay rent.
How can I sign up for that one?
We're going to be giving out 15-inch tablets with internet for 2 years for only $11
I only
flat
got an
fee.
11-inch. Can I sign up for another?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all giving out
Giving
iPads
out
for
phones, we giving out clothes, we giving out food, we giving out resources. It's basically a whole event of giving.
Wow.
And that's all we want to do. Is no strings attached. I tell everyone to contact me at 678-787-7824. And the reason why, because if you're looking to get these services for your lights and also for your rent, you have to meet a certain criteria.
Right.
So if you call me, I won't waste your time.
Right.
I'll
you
let
just
you know
know.
exactly what it is you need to do and if you qualify.
Right.
But
You
we're
ain't
going to
gotta
be
look at my
right there on
tax
spot
records,
doing
dude.
everything. No,
I'm just
we don't need your tax
good.
records.
I'm good.
And you can have everything online. You don't need to bring no printed out papers or nothing.
Okay, that's
And
good.
literally, we're going to be barbecuing, giving away free food as well, too. We're going to have music as well. And we literally are going to be just having an event, empowering, reminding people this is temporary.
Your
Marty,
place where you're at is
I know
temporary.
you hate it when I put you on the spot, but can we show up there and do a little something fast?
You know what? I wouldn't mind supporting.
Okay.
Amen.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I said I wouldn't mind it.
I won't mind. Okay. Well, here's what I will say.
No, we will
if
support.
I can be there,
Yeah.
and I don't have my schedule in front of me. Okay, but if I can be there, I will. You know, like me and my daughters, we love to volunteer. So you know,
and we have her on record saying that she was going to give too.
that's
to the cause.
that I am giving. I am going to give, but I also I love being. We'll talk about this in the next segment. But it's funny you bring this up because that you were the community baby and you're doing something for the community
Right.
because that was one.
Wow.
That's the subject was community, and that's
That is.
what's been on my spirit is community, loving each other, caring about one another, looking out for the underserved, looking out for somebody to just need a hug. Just need a hug.
Wow.
So that has been really been on my heart. So for you to come here and say that you were the community baby, and I'm talking about the importance of the community, the importance of looking out for one another, the importance of giving back, the importance of being grateful. I just feel like this is a God thing right now.
Yeah, and I know we're on radio, so somebody probably going to try to take this, but that is a title that you might want to think about, the community baby.
Yeah,
You
because
know?
that's me.
That's and you're serving the community,
That's right.
you know, and because you kind of came from the community.
That's right.
So I see that connection. I am just.
Most
I give you
definitely.
like 4 thumbs up.
Thank you. And I want to let you guys know also it's going to be located at 867 Cascade Road,
Cascade,
30311. If you get confused, look for the Chapel of Christian Love Baptist Church, and you will see all of us out there dancing and enjoying ourselves and helping people.
And what was that date? One more time so we can put it out there. And we'll put it
March the 29th.
March the 29th on
From 10
Wednesday.
a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be out there giving back. And if you cannot make it, hold on. If you cannot make it, call me. Call me. I will figure out a way. We want to make sure everyone gets help. No man left behind.
Right.
Now, Marty, I will make sure I do the descriptions on this one, okay? Because I know I got like 240 episodes that I haven't done.
We recording now. Just making sure we know we're recording. But
This is holding me accountable. That's all we're doing.
yes. This is so great. And you know, it's. I know we don't have a lot of time to talk about everything that you're doing, but you also have a seminar or a class that you're doing on Wednesdays that are teaching people how to start your own non-for-profit, right? And kind of like teaching people to do what you can do. What you're doing.
Literally, I'm helping people once a month, and it's free, free class, because when I got ready, like I said, I've been doing this work for over 12 years, but I just incorporated last year.
Okay.
December.
Got your paperwork straight.
Got it working.
Literally, fear stopped me. I was so afraid. I didn't know what to do, how to do it. So literally, I started this class up because I wish somebody was really helping me and not giving me fluff. So many people want to sell you all this stuff, and they're taking away from the mission.
Yeah.
So we do this class, and it's free to anyone, and it's also free to people who looking to start a business or move in a nonprofit. Because a lot of people don't know a nonprofit is a business.
Okay, why are you messing with me, Marty? Okay, I know we only have 30 seconds. Guess what? I texted this to my assistant yesterday because we do free treat. To the seniors and people that are underserved, not all. Okay, so we serve underserved people, and so on the down low, we'll do some free tree work. Okay. All right. But it's a case-by-case situation. So I told my assistant, I was like, can you find somebody that can help us put together a nonprofit? Because we don't know how to do that. I know how to start a business and run a business, but I'm like, how do you do a 501c3?
You know what?
Guess what?
We meet here. Look at God. I like to say that.
God.
But real quick, let's look at God on the other side of this commercial break. Real
go
quick,
do
we're
that.
gonna have to take a quick break. You're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones, Marty McFly, and Miss Crystal Strickland. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.
Now when the weather starts to change, the rents start to fall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
If it's looking kinda weak and it's looking kinda bleak, who a tree specialist call?
Don's Tree
If
Service.
the trees in your yard are just too tall, who you gonna call?
Don's Tree Service.
Hey everybody, it's me, Wanda Smith, and I'm here with some great information. I don't know if you know, but it's hurricane season, and it's a great time for you to think about having trees removed before one falls on your home. That's something you don't want to happen. Listen, I called Don's Tree Service. On a Monday, they were here in just a few days. The price was right, the staff was right, and I'm happy with everything they've done. So hey, if I were you, I would sit down with my family and talk about having trees removed before the hurricane comes and hit your home.
If you want more information about your trees, call Don's Tree Service, 770-413-8733. That's 770-413-TREE.
You know, one of the things that frustrates me to no end is when I call a company and as soon as it picks up, it says, please hold, and your approximate hold time is 4 to 5 to 10 minutes. It frustrates me because I need some help. But then I was wondering about when we get on our knees and pray, does the spiritual angel kind of picks up and says, I hear your prayer, but please hold for the operator. And it might take you 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 months. But knowing that the operator will pick up and handle your problem. I think in those times, God is trying to tell us to just hold on for the blessing. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty Ringer, and I'd like to invite you to join us each and every Sunday morning at St. Mark Lutheran Church. Now, you might not be in the East Point or the Atlanta area, but you can always go online at stmarklutheranchurch.org and check out any of our services. I would love to just spread the good news of Christ to you. If you're here in the Atlanta area, our address is 4137 Washington Road in East Point, right down from the Atlanta airport. And if you're not around the ATL, you can always log on at stmarklutheranchurch.org. And there you can be a part of any of our worship services. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand this one message. God is trying to tell you to hold on until your blessing comes. And may God's grace and peace be with you.
Hey, this is Doni the Tree Lady, owner of Don's Tree Service. And as a small business owner, I get asked all the time, how did you do it? Now, for those of you that don't know, I basically started a tree service with $43 and a dream right here in beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Now, during my journey, I've definitely been blessed to see the mountaintop, but I've also been in some rough valleys. And in my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I share my experience. My book really is a real woman's journey to building a happy, healthy, and successful life. But I gotta be honest with you, I read self-help books and I listened to audio programs about success, and I was still having difficulty achieving success in my life until I really got a hold of certain principles that made a difference. In my book, From Failure to Fabulous, I get very real and raw about what I did to build my company, my family, and my life. So please go check out my book, From Failure to Fabulous, on Amazon, or you can go to my website, www.DoniJonesLive.com.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live.
Man, it's good.
Welcome back to Doni Jones Live. I am Doni the Tree Lady. Woo! I am glad we are starting to wrap this up because it's getting raunchy up in this.
No. We just thinking about
Marty said that his denomination head said to sin boldly.
Sin and sin boldly. Yes.
No. We're trying to walk away from sin.
Well, you got to understand the whole theology behind it. Now, we don't have a lot of time to talk about it.
We're
here,
talking about Miss Strickland anyway.
Right. We're talking about Miss Strickland. In a sense, if you're going to go out there, do it boldly. Don't have, but. You know, in your business, you need to go out there.
Do it boldly, but you don't want to sin boldly.
And well, like I said, that's a whole conversation because
it depends
on what you believe. If you believe that God died for your old sins, your current sins, or your future sins.
But we don't want. Okay, but how about we just try not to do it?
Already been. Yeah. Well, that's
I am
like
never,
I said.
and I do mean never, going to cheat on my husband. Never. It's not gonna happen.
I believe you won't.
Yeah, we receive it.
Yeah.
I believe you won't cheat on your husband. But his other girlfriend.
You know what?
Okay.
You gonna be at the house. Sorry.
Well, guess what? That will not be on me. I will be faithful to my vows.
Right. You did what's right. That's right.
And guess what? I married a good man.
Amen.
I ain't got to be tripping out for somebody on a pole or going to a club that they should not be
we
out.
call it the 10%.
Wait.
But they laying hands on the strippers.
You think those are the real temptations, just at the strip clubs or whatever?
I'm sure you can tell me about the other temptations.
Oh yeah, all the
Go down
temptations. Every client, every door that he knock on and say, "Hey, you need your tree trimmed." That's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. Every
grass is
right.
I've literally, I've seen customers. I've seen customers come to the door, like I'll be there, like I'll get there, like running a little bit later or whatever, right? And they'll be standing at the door with the little house coat on, with it partially open. I'm like,
no.
Like, that's, you,
and he has never complained about that, though, has he?
He is not a plumber. He's not
never complained about that. He ain't even bring that up in this casual conversation. Like, I wonder why she just came.
Why would she come to the
with
door
a robe
like
on and boots? I don't understand. You know, never talk to her.
Because this one customer goes, you know what? It's your guys are really nice, and that little thin one that's kind of quiet, I like him. This is strong, silent type.
Yeah.
Is he married? I'm like, yes.
Yes, hey, that's my husband.
It's me.
Look,
Yes.
he's married and faithful and happy.
Yeah.
You gotta run the whole line down.
Yeah, I just need some handyman work around the house. I was just gonna see if he could come back. No,
Not him.
No,
but
he
we'll
can't.
get somebody here.
Right.
I'll say Marty, but he don't know how to fix nothing.
I don't know how to fix nothing. I ain't
might
even
have-
gonna try to pretend.
Exactly. But we supposed to be talking about Miss Strickland.
Miss Strickland, yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And all the wonderful things that she is doing in her community.
Yes.
And, and this is our last segment. And usually we say something spiritual. Something usually we do. I don't know. This is a hard segue from here. But with Crystal,
walk through the valley of
with the things that you're doing right now, I would say where does God play the role at? Where do you see God in what you're doing?
God is in everything I'm doing. I literally pray about everything.
Yes.
When I say I pray about everything, literally the training we just did was on financials. We was helping people figure out how to get their financials in order, how to build wealth through insurance. We was also showing them how to hide their money through insurance. We was also showing them how to hide their business through trust. Ain't it? Your business ain't everybody's business.
I will say this, though. It's good to be knowledgeable about these things because, the former president, I will say I wasn't crazy about him as president, but you got to understand, he's like, look.
A great businessman.
A good businessman that says, hey, I worked it out that I didn't pay the taxes. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at the system.
He said, don't hate the plan, hate the game.
That's exactly what he didn't say exactly that
way. Now, I ain't voting for him. I'm not endorsing him. Just letting y'all know.
It's between him and that dude
we ain't talking political. We ain't talking political stuff.
This time I might have to go in a different direction.
Back to Crystal, because we want to stay focused.
We're going to stay focused.
So, but in that, you say you pray about everything. Is there like a underlying scripture or something that stays with you throughout your day, your life, or that you stay
Not at all. I am not the person I'm not the Bible thumper.
Dude, who you
I'm going to let y'all know that now. I'm not the Bible
I love
thumper.
God.
I let people know every time I choose who you meet when I wake up in the morning. I am constantly being revised and resaved on a daily basis.
Yes.
And the reason why I want that truth to be out there, because a lot of times people need to be freed.
Yes.
Because a lot of times people look at me and think, oh, she's just so holy. She's just so this. No, I will cut you smooth, clean out.
Come on now.
Be on prayer at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Look, on time and pray for you. But my thing is, I'm learning to work through my flaws. So since I know who I am, I go to God about everything. Literally for the last class, like I was just saying that we were just doing, when it came down to me to figure out what the class was going to be about, I went to God and I said, God, what's the next class going to be about? He said, financial. I said, God, how we going to have a class about financial? And not only am I broke, but all my finances is messed up. Like right now, like how am I going to do a class for financial? So I said, you know what? All right, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. 2 days later, I am down at the Capitol. And while I'm down there, I literally met 3 women. Let me tell you how good God is. Everybody I met at the Capitol, I didn't go talk to nobody. Everybody came and talked to me.
Yeah.
And they was literally, they was so excited about my shirt that I had on because it says kindness is beautiful.
Woo! I love that.
And literally they were telling me we're financial advisors. I almost fell out. So I literally started shouting in the Capitol. And the people was like, oh my goodness. I said, yeah, because I'm going to praise him right now. I don't care who's watching.
That's right.
And literally he sent me those people to help me. And then right after that, business credit. That's something else that we're working on. He sent me somebody right after that to help me to get that established.
That's right.
So literally everything that I do, God is teaching me and I give it to somebody else.
You pass
In
forward.
everything. When I say in everything, I pray for direction.
That's right.
In everything.
That's right. That right there is a sermon. That you talked about. Where's our spiritual moment for this hour?
That's
right.
it.
That's right there is a sermon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I couldn't have said it
I need her
better.
to speak at the church one day. Just let it
There
be
you
used.
go.
But
Yes.
you did say something inspirational too, because some people think that for you to be a Christian or one that goes to church, you're supposed to know the Bible. And it's like, no, I know the life. I know who God is. I know what He is to me and how He directs me. But I ain't got to quote everything, and trust me,
right.
I don't.
That's
I
what
don't
we got
do
you
that.
for, Marty.
No,
What we got you for.
no, don't. I won't make up some stuff.
No, because we joke about it, but I always tell people, when they watch our show, that I'm the spiritual person and he's a religious person, because he knows that word. He knows
really.
word. Yeah. Now I might know it, but I don't know where it's at.
I don't need.
And see,
I
with
know it's
me, I
in there
know the
sometimes.
story.
There you go.
There you go. I can give you the story in a minute. I can break a story down.
Come on
because
now.
that's the type of learner that I am.
Yeah.
But I let people know one thing I learned, because I actually was incarcerated before. And when I was incarcerated, a lady told me, learn your own Bible. And it blew my mind, because I was in there listening to everybody teaching the Bible.
Come on.
And she told me, don't do that.
Yeah.
And so I want to free people and let you guys know that if you're on any type of journey or doing anything or trying to figure it out, clear your mind as much as
Yes.
possible. We do a meditation class on every Sunday as well, too.
Meditation's awesome.
And it's called Creating the Amazing You. And it's actually on Eventbrite, where you can go donation only. Literally, you can put $1 in and come to all the trainings as well, too.
You know what? That's good to know, because when they told me about it, it was like it's for a fee, and I was like, I ain't signing up.
Yeah, and it's any donation, and literally
donation,
any
that's different.
donation.
You know, if the
And you
information
can come
is
to
out
all
there.
the classes.
Because I really thought I was in a few of my friends are doing some of the classes or whatever, and I was like, I want to support. Oh, y'all gonna charge?
Marty,
I ain't got
Yes,
paid this
Marty,
week.
it's like
don't
a
you want
donation.
people? Okay.
Hey. That's what I was thinking in my head. I didn't know I could pay $1. I could maybe splurge on
Pay
$1.
anything.
Marty, I'm gonna send you $1, okay? I'm gonna send you $1. But no, but it's going back to that. When you give, it shall be given unto you.
Yes.
For
Pressed
those
down,
of you that are
shaken
out there
together.
listed, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. He knows this stuff. So for those of you that are out there, please reach out to Miss Crystal.
Yes.
And just get with her. Her number is 678-787-7824. That's 678-787-7824. And I tell you what, real quick,
Cash App. Oh.
before we end the show, or up until the end of the show, if you're listening to my voice right now, go to Cash App right now and go to WIO22 $, WIO, not the number O, the letter 0. I mean, the letter O. The letter O. See, I'm getting it. That's it up right there. WIO22. WIO22. I want us to just send you some love right now.
Yes.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what the dollar amount is. Just support her. She's out here feeding the homeless. She's out here making a difference. She's creating programs to help people, to serve the underserved. And that is our model, to serve the underserved.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw this out there too. No, I know we're in a couple of different markets. So if this is in Killeen, Texas,
I'm doing it right now.
or Greenville, you can still pay it forward.
Yes.
You can still pay it forward. It might not be in the community that you're in right now, but
Yes.
who knows if we can help her venture out and
Yes,
be the
yes.
community baby
That's
in a lot of different communities.
And, that,
right.
and that's actually the plan. Our plan actually is to be international. And I just wanted to let people know that you are welcome to not only just give, but also give your time, talent, anything, any resources. Tell somebody else about what we're doing. Because a lot of people don't know we fed over 163 people just on Saturday. And then on Tuesday, we got a call from the emergency shelter at 11 a.m. And they said, we need food tonight. And we fed over 73 people that night in the cold.
Come on now.
Just curious, because I know just a few of my brothers and sisters might need some, how we say, take care of some community hours.
Come on down. We actually not only track your community hours, but my son, amazing. His name is Larry. I'm so proud of him. He's working on an app for volunteers to help them to be able to track their information, get their community service.
So if you
hours.
need that probation officer off your back,
Oh my gosh.
Over here.
I'm saying, a lot of people need,
Yes,
community
yes.
service. Trust me, I run a church. They come and talk.
You're
to
so
me.
funny.
Yes.
But
I'm
you
for
know,
real.
this
Mine
has been
ain't
great.
I don't know why
This
it's
has
not working, but I am
this
good
has
at
been
it.
a wonderful
It has been an
show.
awesome
Yes.
Crystal Strickland, thank you again for being a part,
You.
being here, your knowledge, and we will try to bring you back on too to get some more information.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing your story and keep sharing your story.
Yeah.
It makes a
Definitely.
difference.
Thank you.
Until next week, you're listening to Doni Jones Live with Doni Jones, Marty McFly, and please have a blessed week.
Blessed.
It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live. It's Doni Jones Live, Doni Jones Live.